All right, now that you are in Photoshop and you have dragged and dropped this picture to the desktop and dragged and dropped the picture from the desktop into Adobe Photoshop, now we can adjust the color and the tone and the contrast. So what you're going to do for this assignment is you're going to be working right up here at the top where it says image, okay? So first we click image, and I'm just going to have you watch first. That way when you are ready, you can do it. And we go to adjustments. Now there's a lot of things you can adjust in this area. We can adjust the brightness. Okay, so if you want to just make the picture a little bit brighter, you just adjust that toggle. You can adjust the contrast. And then when you're done, click OK. If you want to adjust the vibrance, which has to do with the color, just click on vibrance, okay? Saturation. If you want to make a color picture black and white, all you have to do is desaturate it. So watch. This is the color. This is a lot of color. Desaturate means I take all the color out. Zero saturation. Now, I also want you to play with this in image adjustments. Hue and saturation. Okay, so if I want to adjust all of the hues, I can do that. If I want to adjust, for example, just the yellows, I click up here and click on yellows, and now I can adjust just the yellows. So everything that is yellow in the picture is adjusting. And I can turn it into sort of like a full-time picture by just adjusting the yellows. If I want to adjust the greens, I click on greens, and now you can see it's just adjusting the greens in this picture. So if you look at this area right here, it's just taking any greens in the picture and adjusting that. So if you take a picture of a landscape and you're like, okay, I want it to look like it's fall, you can do that by just adjusting the hue and saturation. And there's a lot more that you can get into down here, right? But play around with it, and then anytime you do something that you're like, okay, I don't really want to do that, you just go Command Z, and that will undo it. Okay, the last thing I want to show you is, let's see, color balance as well. You can adjust the color balance. Okay, I'm going to show you one thing extra that's not required for the assignment, but let's say I don't want to adjust everything in the picture with color. Let's say I only want to adjust the color of the bison. I'm going to click the Quick Selection tool, and this just selects just the bison. See how I just hover my mouse over just the bison? There we go. And there's a lot more finicky things you can do to it. Okay, so now see I've got little marching ants just around the bison. And now if I just want to, like, let's say desaturate the bison, I can do that. If I want to turn the bison pink, I can do that without turning the rest of it. So you see how this is selected. Now I can take this, adjust it. I can go to hue saturation. Like I said, if I want to desaturate the bison, I can do that. If I want to just turn the bison green, I can do that. If I just want to turn the bison blue, that's kind of cool. I can do that. And I can make the bison lighter or darker. I can do all kinds of things, but just to the bison if you select it. Okay? And I got a little bit of grass in there, so if that happens, you can subtract a little bit. So there's all kinds of things that I can show you a little bit more of when you get to it. But first, we're just going to play around with the color. All right, and I'm going to turn my bison blue and click OK. And then Command D means get rid of those. Okay, and then if I want to save that and turn it in, You do need to turn it in as a JPEG. Worst case scenario, you could go Shift Command 4 to do a screenshot, or if you go File, Save, let's save it as a JPEG. Oh, okay, File, Save As. I'm going to call it Image Adjustments, so I know how to where to turn it in. Format JPEG, save. Okay. Okay, so now I'm done with that assignment. I know that seems like a lot, but we'll